Hi, Sharon Danny here with another 2-minute tip. This week I have a big surprise for you. I have a model, someone in our age group, and this model has short hair. So I'm going to cut it for her and show you some styling tricks that will help all those with short hair. I'd like to introduce you to Mary, who's going to be our model for today. Mary has kindly offered to do 2 videos. We're going to do one with her hair, and then we're going to do another one to show how to do some fast and simple makeup to get you out the door to live your life. So here we can see that Mary has some beautiful coloring of gray. She's got wonderful dark with lighter gray flowing through the top. But at the sides it's quite light, and at the bottom, at the back, it's quite light too. So what I'm going to do is, if you just turn your head a little bit more, Mary, you can see here, this is a hairdo that has grown out. And while it had great shape at the beginning, what's happened now, she's almost getting like a mushroom or bowl look that's coming across the back here. What we want to do is keep some of this length, because it's always good on everybody at every age to have a little bit of length or wispiness through the nape of the neck. We're going to keep this shape through here, but we're going to lift this up so that she has fullness and height up here and reveal more of the wonderful gray underneath. At this side, we're going to take a lot of this away and just keep this so that it's a little bit fringe-like at the sides, and this will also help to lift up. And I think the bangs, what we're going to do is kind of sweep them to the side, but texturize them. That's the plan. Just before I begin to cut, you'll notice as I've wet Mary's hair, here's another thing that looks really good on a lot of people, is to use your fingers, not a comb, to pull the hair back like so, and then it reveals a lot of coloring that's underneath. It's very attractive on most people, but again, we need to have this lifted up. But that's another way, if you don't want bangs or if it's hot and humid, just with your fingers, a little bit of hairspray even on your hands, and then just move through your hair, hold it, and then spray it again afterwards, and that should hold you just fine for as long as you need. Now, I'm not going to film the entire time that I cut Mary's hair, but I'm just going to break out a couple of points. One of the things you want to do when you want texture in your hair is to point cut. That means cutting into rather than cutting straight across. So point cutting is a good thing. It will give you the texture that you need. The other thing is, although they say don't use razors, there are times when razors are important. When you want to get a feathering, it's good to use a nice little razor to give some of that feathering that I will do later on. But those are the only 2 tools I use. Now, if you have really thick hair, which, let's face it, most of us at this age and stage, if we did have thick hair, it's no longer with us. But if you do, using thinning shears is a good idea. And you just go in, cut, cut, cut. So you go at the first part of the shaft, the middle part of the shaft, and the end part of the shaft, and then that will thin the hair out and still give it some good texture at the same time. Okay, back in a minute. Okay, so we finished with the cut. You can see her hair is shorter all around, and just shorter on the sides and at the back, at the bottom. We've lifted this up. But in order for this haircut, you know what it's like when you go to the salon and you come out and your hair looks great, and then when you wash it, it doesn't look the same? Well, it's all about products that you use. I'm going to use a Brilliantine on Mary right now. I like that, or using a gel or anything. You know, there's all kinds of products, and it's whatever works best for you. What I like about Brilliantine is it helps to give some nice texture to the hair. So I'm just going to go in with my fingers. Now, Hairspray is another favorite of mine. Let's get a little more here. You can already see on this side how it nicely pieces the hair, adds a bit of texture, and it also adds sheen, which I really like. Now we can have the bangs, the no bangs, or whatever. Now I'm putting all this in before I do the back combing, because back combing, ladies, as you've seen in some of my other videos, is #1. with getting your hair to sit the way you want it to sit. It just helps tremendously. Now you can see we can leave it just as it is. And what we can also do is just, if you can turn here, Mary, a bit, lift up and take down little pieces like this and just twist them. That's another thing. If she wants to have more bang, she can do that. She can put the sides back or bring them forward, whichever she prefers to do. Okay, let me wash my hands. I'm going to back comb. Okay, so I'm going to take a teasing comb. This is just, you can find these all over North America, and I'm sure in Europe too. It's just a 4-pronged at the end of this comb, and some of them have more little defined or shorter combs in the center here so that it's easier for back combing. Number 1 on the hit parade for back combing is the crown of the hair. So we lift, and I just back combed with 5 or 6. See, just like that. You want it standing straight up. We'll take care of that later. The crown is the most important part. You want to get some good back combing in here. And especially with shorter hair, you have to give it a little bit more back combing than you do for longer hair. And if you can just turn, Mary, for me. And I'm going to go back down to the occipital bone. Now if you find that your hair isn't holding the back combing and it just wants to come out, simply give it a little spray and spray it at the roots. The other thing that you can do is lift the hair up like this and spray. And I like to use a hairspray that has got either from a flexible hold to right down to a strong hold, somewhere in between. And now at the back, when you want texture, spray it and then just run your fingers through it so you separate the hairs, like so. That'll give you all the texture that you could want. Okay, now I'm going to take the other end of the comb here, and I'm just going to go over the hair with the comb and my fingers to direct the hair where I'd like it to lie. Okay, you can turn to the front. Now you can see, and when you look in her profile, actually I'll have you turn to the side again. You see in her profile, it's lifted her crown up. So what it's done is it's given a nice full shape to the head. And that's the thing that you want to look for in most of your, all hairstyling actually, is getting that crown lifted. That's the thing that suits most women. Now we come to the front here, and with Mary's hair, I'm going to put a little hairspray in my hand, like so. And then I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to, the sides of her hair, if you turn to the side for me, I'm going to comb them back first with the hairspray. Let them dry just a little bit. They face front. And then I'm just going to separate, pull some forward, leave some back. All depends. Turn to the side for me. Great. Now with the bangs, we've already got some texture going on there, but here's another little trick. If you want to still have a bit of a fringe down on your forehead, which many women do, and I like to because it hides wrinkles and it hides a bad brow day. So then what I do is I take this piece up here and back comb it. Give it a wee bit of a spray and then place it. That gives you, again, the height, the texture, and I'm going to just spray in here a little bit and give it a bit more texture. So you can have the bangs then sit up and out, or you can bring them down and have them a full bang if you like, whatever. And let me just see the front part of this. Now with a hairdo like this, the messier the better. If you see a flat area, just go in with your back combing brush or comb and just give it a little bit of tease at the root, give it a little hairspray, and Bob's your uncle. I guess I'm rating myself with that one, aren't I, Mary?
Right.
So there we have a lovely, easy hairdo. It's a wash and go hairdo as long as she puts the product in. Whether it's brilliantine, gel, for curly haired girls, you use the curly hair method. But I find a little hairspray and some back combing and you get just the shape that you want. And what's great with a hairstyle like this is if the wind blows it or gets at it, it looks fantastic however it wants to fall. Okay, thank you so much for being my model, Mary.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.